I used to blow dry my hair the exact same way for 11 years and wonder why I looked tired in every photo. Nobody ever sat me down and told me my hairstyle was the problem, not my face. This video is about the specific hairstyles that quietly add years to how you're read at a glance, and exactly what to do instead of each one. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and the best fixes for women over 50, so you get real results, fast. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every week. Part 1. The flat, press-down style that's draining your whole face. Here's something most women don't realize. Flatness at the crown reads as fatigue to the human eye before anything else registers. Even before wrinkles or makeup do. Your brain processes volume as energy in about half a second. So if you've been ironing your roots flat every morning because that's just how you've always done it, you're accidentally telling every single person you meet that you're worn out before you've said a word. The fix is root lift, and it's simpler than you think. You're not adding volume through more product. You're adding it through direction. When your hair dries, the roots need to be encouraged upward and slightly away from the scalp instead of flattening down against it. A round brush lifted at the roots, held there while warm air passes over it, trains the hair to dry in that lifted position instead of collapsing back down. Here's the part that actually matters. Once that lift is in place, people stop reading your face as tired and start reading it as awake. It's not the wrinkles they're responding to. It's the flatness, or the lack of it. I've watched this shift happen in real time with women who change nothing else about their routine, just the direction their roots dry in, and the difference in how they're greeted. How quickly people make eye contact with them is honestly startling. You don't need a salon appointment for this. You need 2 minutes with a round brush pointed the right way, every morning, until it becomes automatic. Some women find it easier to flip their head forward while drying just the crown section, letting gravity do half the lifting work before they even pick up a brush. The swap is simple to picture. Before, hair pressed flat against the scalp, sitting close and heavy. After, roots lifted, hair sitting up and away from the scalp with visible air underneath it. But root lift only fixes half the picture. There's a second habit, one involving your part line, that's doing just as much damage, and it's next. Part 2. The part line you've had since your 20s. Most women choose a part line once, usually decades ago, and never revisit it again. That's the problem. Hair thins with age in a specific, predictable pattern. And it thins fastest right along whatever part line you've used the longest. That means the exact spot you've been parting your hair for 30 years is very likely the thinnest, most see-through spot on your entire scalp right now. The fix is a simple diagonal shift, not a dramatic side part, just a few degrees off-center, angled slightly back from the hairline instead of running straight down the middle. This does 2 things. It moves the visible part off the thinnest patch of scalp, and it lets the hair on either side fall in a way that naturally covers a wider surface area. A stylist can section this for you in under a minute, but you can find your own version by combing hair straight back, then letting it fall naturally to see where it wants to separate on its own. Here's what changes once you make the swap. That visible strip of scalp, the one that makes hair look thin from 3 feet away, disappears. Not because you have more hair, because the hair you have is finally distributed to cover what's actually there. I had a woman tell me she hadn't realized how much she'd been avoiding overhead lighting until she made this change, and stopped flinching under it. There's a second layer to this too. A part line that's been static for years also tends to leave a slight indentation or groove in the hair itself, a kind of memory crease that makes the surrounding strands lie flatter than they should. Shifting the part, even by a small amount, breaks that pattern and lets hair fall with more natural movement instead of settling into the same tired groove every single day. Before, a straight center part sitting directly over the thinnest patch of scalp. After, a soft diagonal part angled back from the hairline, covering that same patch completely. Now here's a mistake almost nobody thinks about as a hairstyle choice at all, because it doesn't feel like styling, it feels like practicality. But it's aging you more than either of the last 2 combined. Part 3. The practical length you default to every time. There's a length almost every woman over 50 gravitates toward without realizing it. Something that sits right at the chin, or just below it. It feels safe. It feels manageable. What nobody mentions is that this exact length, chin grazing, no shorter and no longer, is the single most aging length that exists because it lands precisely at the point where the jawline is softening, and it draws a hard horizontal line right across that exact spot. The fix isn't going shorter or longer across the board. It's about breaking that hard horizontal line specifically, length that hits an inch or two below the jaw, with soft layering built in around the face, does the opposite of what the blunt chin length cut does. It creates a diagonal, angled shape instead of a straight line, and that diagonal is what visually lifts and elongates everything below the cheekbone. Ask a stylist for face framing layers that start at the cheekbone and taper down past the jaw, rather than one uniform length ending at the chin. The result is immediate, and it's visible from across a room. That hard line that used to sit right at the softest part of the jaw is gone, replaced by movement that draws the eye down and past it instead of stopping cold at it. Several women I've talked to said the same thing almost word for word, that people started commenting on their eyes and their smile again, not because either changed, but because the hairstyle stopped putting a frame around the one area they were most self-conscious about. There's also a texture element worth mentioning. Blunt chin length cuts tend to get styled with a flat, uniform finish, which reinforces that harsh line even further. Layered length below the jaw naturally wants some texture and movement, which softens things even more without requiring any extra effort on your part. Before, a blunt cut ending right at the chin, drawing a flat line across the jaw. After, soft layers falling past the jawline, breaking that line into diagonal movement. One more habit left, and it's the one I get asked about more than any other because it seems harmless and it's actually the opposite. Part 4. The color choice that's fighting your skin instead of helping it. Here's something that surprises almost everyone. Going too dark with color as you age doesn't read as youthful. It reads as harsh, because skin loses warmth and pigment over time, and a deep, flat color sitting right next to lightening skin creates a stark contrast that makes every line and shadow on the face more visible, not less. The fix is softening the color rather than abandoning it, adding dimension through lighter pieces woven through around the face specifically, not all over. This creates a gradual transition between hair and skin instead of a hard edge. A stylist can place these lighter pieces exactly where light naturally hits the face, near the temples and the front hairline, so the color does some of the same lifting work that good layering does. You keep depth in the color without keeping the harsh flatness that was working against you. Once that softer dimension is in, the contrast that was aging the face disappears, and something else happens that most women don't expect. Their eye color and skin tone both look brighter, almost lit from within, simply because there's no more harsh dark frame stealing all the attention. One woman told me a coworker asked if she'd changed her glasses, when really the only thing different was a few well-placed lighter pieces around her hairline. This isn't about going lighter overall, or committing to constant upkeep. It's targeted, just the pieces that sit closest to your face, which also happens to be the lowest maintenance version of a color change you can make, since it grows out softly instead of leaving an obvious line at the roots. Before, flat, uniformly dark color with no dimension near the face. After, softer lighter pieces framing the hairline, creating a gentle transition between hair and skin. You now know 4 specific things that were quietly working against you: flat roots, a static part line, a chin-length cut, and flat color, and exactly what to ask for instead of each one. None of it requires starting over. It just requires knowing what to name at your next appointment. Which one of these 4 were you doing without even realizing it? Tell me in the comments. Next time, I'm covering the styling mistake that makes thin hair look even thinner, and how 5 extra minutes fixes it completely. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I'll see you in the next one.